Let's welcome in our next guest, our third coach joining us now. It's Bryant women's basketball head coach Lynne-Ann Kokoski, now joining us in her second year at her alma mater, Bryant. Lynne-Ann, thanks so much for being here. How are things going there in Rhode Island?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Lynn.
Hey, how are you,
Good
Mo?
to see you. Good.
You too.
Congrats on everything. You know, your first year, to be a first-time head coach, it's pressure enough, but to be at your alma mater, I'm sure, you know, hopefully all your college teammates and friends were blowing you up. You did an amazing job, and I think winning the most wins since 2016 in your first year is a really huge accomplishment. So congrats. I can't wait to see. We'll talk about all the new kids you got coming back, and I'm really excited for you.
Thank you so much.
15 wins for Bryant last year, 8-8 in the league, finished fourth in your first year, Lynne-Ann. Now having, when you got the job, you had some time, I think, to acclimate yourself, a place you're familiar with, of course, but now having a full offseason, a spring, a summer, to really establish what you brought in season, to then sort of maybe work out some of the things you wanted to have time with in the offseason. How was that to get even more buy-in heading into your second year?
Well, it's funny because, everyone thinks year two is going to be an automatic, quick, turnaround. And honestly.
Did I make it sound like that? I'm sorry.
A little bit.
Okay.
But no, we graduated 6. We only had 6 returners. I think our staff did a tremendous job bringing in 8 newcomers, 5 which are transfers, and 3 of those 5 are grad students. So I call this kind of year 1A. It's brand new again. It really is. And it's a lot of teaching. It's a lot of, reestablishing culture, while elevating standards.
Absolutely. And, in year 2, it is interesting, right? Like, I think sometimes that first year is kind of like a little bit of a honeymoon stage, and you feel like the pressure's not really on you. And then year 2 comes. But I think, just bringing in Mia and having, Nia Scott and having some really good young kids. I mean, kudos to you, to be able to find Mia, and now obviously you and your staff bringing in some tremendous transfers. How do you think all those transfers will complement, those sophomores?
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're trying to work on now, is getting to us. We talk a lot about, the sophomores who have some tremendous playing experience. We have some grad students that come from some really well-established and winning programs. And obviously we've brought in a couple more transfers. So, right now it's trying to just mesh everyone together, create some healthy competition, while, going towards the same goal.
Yeah, Mia had quite the year. What's next for Mia? So you mentioned, so you have a great year, and it's a fair call out by you. Everyone makes it sound so easy. We'll just be better next year because they're just going to be another year experience. But for Mia specifically, what's the next step in her game? Is it a leadership quality? That's pretty demanding as just a sophomore. But where is it as far as her makeup that's next for her?
The big thing that we talked about was, congratulations, great freshman year. I thought she did a tremendous job stepping up for us. She took on a ton of responsibility, and she owned it. And once the season was over, gave them a couple weeks off. And when we turned the page, I said, okay, no one cares anymore. No one cares. So what else are you going to do to elevate your game? I said, you're going to be on the scouting report, front and center more so than ever now. People respect you in the league. So what's next? And, so we talked a lot about, level fitness, expanding her game to become more of a 3-level scorer, and then really stepping up on the defensive end. And that's, I'm hopeful. She's had a tremendous, month and a half here of preseason. And I'm more impressed with her effort on the defensive side of the ball than anything.
7th in the league in scoring last year, played on some winning teams at Wheeler High School, going back to her high school days. So just a winner, some winning habits coming into your program. Maybe someone other than Mia that we haven't talked about. So where are the other expectations for some specific players entering this year?
Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to the 5 transfers that we brought in. I think each brings a different, aspect and fulfilled some needs that we had that were empty last year. Especially in the post, with replacing Mariona Planes Fortuny who did a tremendous job for us last year. Hopefully you'll see kind of picking up where she left off with Miranda Nyborg transferring from Fordham, and then Allie Brigham from Penn State.
And just kind of talking about your staff, that's a lot of transfers to bring in one year, and obviously I know how hard that can be. To kind of get in the portal takes a lot of time and energy to recruit, anyways. But in your first year, how you put together a fantastic staff. I obviously know them a little bit and how hard they do work, on the road, and just kind of talk about that, because I think a lot of people take that for granted sometimes in your first year. I think one of the hardest things is putting together a staff. Sometimes the schedule's already done for you. You already inherit a lot of players. It's a little different now with the transfer portal, but how was that for you? That experience of putting together a staff?
Yeah, no, when I first got the job, I knew the thing I was looking for most was really good people first. I didn't care, what their background was, where they came from, et cetera, whether they were a recruiter, whether they were a specialist. For me, it was people first. So then, obviously I thought, Sarah Asante and Christina Centeno had a tremendous year for us last year, building relationships with the addition of Gaddy Left, who we stole in our conference from Maine. Who's accustomed to winning, has been a tremendous addition. And so I think, our staff chemistry, the relationships that we have, a lot of competitive people, but at the same time, we're a united front, and it's the same thing that we talk about as a team. So, I'm really fortunate to have them. They did work their butts off in the postseason to, help elevate this program. In many ways, we took a deep dive into, a 360 review of our program, from all the intricacies on the court to some, things off the court, as well as obviously recruiting was a major key for us.
Again, we have head coach at Bryant, Lynne-Ann Kokoski, joining us here at America East Women's Basketball Media Day. You mentioned all those transfers, so you've kind of reaped the benefits, but also you felt the portal and what it can do as it pertains to the transfers and how you want to play. How do they fit into what you've already established and how they fit your playing style? Because I'm sure that's something that's keeping you up at night, right? To make sure it all fits.
Yes.
Well, now I'm trying to be more honest after I made it all sound, like flowers and dandelions, right? So.
I appreciate that. No, like I said, we addressed the needs with, Mariona Planes Fortuny leaving, with the two bigs that we brought in.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm very, very excited about the guard play that we've brought in. Breezy Williams is no stranger to the America East. She's been tremendous from day one since she stepped on campus. Really, really excited for Jada Leonard from St. Peter's. She led them in scoring last season. Lanky wing that can get out in transition. Really excited for her. And then another key player, I think, for us will be another guard we brought in from Fairfield who just knows how to win. Love Mimi Rubino's, mentality. She's shown some good leadership so far here. And again, just that winner's mentality and mindset that we're looking for here at Bryant.
What game do you have as the head coach kind of circled on your schedule? It doesn't have to be like a big name. Is it a big rivalry game? Is it a trip? What is that looking like for you right now, Lynne-Ann?
Mo, I focus on the first one. I really do.
Dude,
I know it's probably
nothing
cliche.
Warm?
No, we don't have anything warm this year. We went down to Florida last year. So, honestly, I'm just, trying to take it one day at a time here. And like I said, we're still trying to mesh everyone together, get our chemistry. So, we've talked a lot about that, not getting ahead of ourselves. I do think we have enough talent in the room. But again, that's on us to come together and work together one day at a time.
Lynne-Ann, I'll tell you what, I mean this as a compliment. You give me Joe Mazzulla vibes. It must be something about Rhode Island. You've got turning the page to the next season. We were good last year. You talked about your freshmen. Great. No one cares anymore. On to a new season. We could be good, but Joe Mazzulla was just quoted the other day, just using a Celtics parallel. Well, the 24-25 Celtics could be great. We're not great yet. We could be, but I'm giving you a compliment there. It must be that Rhode Island thing.
It must be in the water here. No, I appreciate that. That's some good company to be in. So no, but I think, as soon as you get ahead of yourself, you stop focusing on the little things, the little details, the things that matter. And so, and to be honest with you, it's, one day at a time, from practice to the first game to, the next practice. And, I think that's something that I got from Tori Verdi when I was at UMass is, you can't look too far ahead because too many, variables and too many factors can happen.
So just to kind of piggyback off that, looking at the rest of the league. So 4 different winners each of the last 4 years, but Vermont, Maine last year, Albany a couple years ago. What's it going to take to take down those teams that have been pretty consistent top of the league the last handful of years?
I think a lot of it comes down to toughness and belief. And I think we showed some of that at the end of the year, had a big win against a team like Vermont on our senior day last year. And you just got to believe. I tell them all the time, talent without toughness doesn't win. You can have a lot of talent in the room, but if you're not tough, and especially a league like this, and those top 3 teams that you just mentioned, they have a strong winning tradition. And, so you got to be extra, tough, and you got to give everything, especially on those games. I mean, the rest of the nights as well, but, those guys, they're accustomed to winning. It's a mindset. They have that mentality. They've had, great history of it. So, and that's what I'm trying to get our guys to understand that, obviously anyone can win on any given night, but, it's a mindset to come in with that toughness.
I'm excited. I wish I would have be able to watch you before I left Sutton. I would live where I used to live when I worked at Holy Cross, was literally 15, 20 minutes from Bryant. I actually was going to bring my kids to your camp. That's how close we were.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we moved. But I'm really excited for your team this year. And, you're super competitive. And I think that you lead by example and they follow. And already this year, it was really, really fun to see your success this year. I remember how hard that first year can be and didn't seem to phase you one bit. So I think year 2 got big things coming. I can't wait to cheer you guys on.
Thanks, Mo. That means a lot coming from you. So appreciate it.
And enjoy this summer-like weather right now in Rhode Island. Before
I know.
What am I talking about? Warm. Before the beach. What am I talking about? Probably
I know. It has been absolutely pleasant. We've got lucky. We're waiting for that kind of other shoe to drop here. So, but no, lots of good things happening here. I mean, campus is buzzing, and obviously our fall sports are doing really well too. So, just trying to represent the best we can in the right way, and hopefully you see a very tough product that plays some really good team basketball this year.
Give it time. You'll be up at Maine, up at Vermont, up at UNH, and you'll be tiptoeing on ice into the arena. It'll be here soon enough. Lynne-Ann, Kokoski.
Don't worry about that now. Go to the beach, Lynne-Ann.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. Great stuff, and best of luck this season.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Lynne-Ann. See ya.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
She was a treat.